Here's a quick question for you. How many scientists can you name? Kids have Bill Nye the Science Guy. The world has Albert Einstein. Medicine has Jonas Salk. Back to the Future has Doc Brown, and TV has Sheldon Cooper. But what about Atoka? Well, we have our very own quirky, intelligent, fun, and inspiring scientist and the 2022 Hall of Fame inductee, Jim Lloyd. Jim was born in 1944 to Lyetta and Charlie Lloyd and grew up in Bennington, Oklahoma, along with siblings Irvin, Marietta, Roscoe, and Anthony. When he was a freshman, the family moved to Mansville, where there were 10 students in his class, but they were all very academically competitive. The teachers liked them so much that the students were often found watching television instead of going to class. After graduating in 1962, he attended Southeastern Oklahoma State University, where he received a Bachelor of Science in Natural Sciences. He was also a graduate assistant at OU and OSU and studied everything from chemistry to computer programs to aerospace engineering. Lloyd began and finished his teaching career at Atoka. He became a Wampus Cat in the fall of 1966 and taught 3 years before resigning to further his education. When he decided to return to the classroom, he spent 1 year at that purple high school, then moved to Atoka, where he taught for 30 more years before he resigned again. Atoka convinced him to return as a part-time instructor, and in 2012, you guessed it, he resigned for the final time. His classroom subjects included biology, chemistry, physical science, and junior high science. But Mr. Lloyd taught so much more than just science. Mr. Lloyd always had a room full of gadgets. The rest of us had VHS tapes. He had the Laserdisc. We had Polaroids. He had a dark room and a fancy camera and could develop his own pictures. We had phones on the wall with party lines. He had a ham radio. His students still tell stories about making moonshine and wine in the lab, about the Dead Bird Award, about trying to set the world record in egg tossing, and possibly the best story is about the floor M's. Yes, the floor M's. You'll just have to ask him about that one. Mr. Lloyd surrounded himself with other outstanding educators such as Glenda Graham, Mary Watson, Jerry Lewis, David Kellogg, Max Lane, Ron Falconberry, and Gary Cooper. If you ever attended a football game and entered the South Gate, Lloyd and Cooper had it covered. If you needed photos for your team or graduation, Mr. Lloyd was your man. Just after graduation, Jim had some friends who decided he needed a girlfriend, and since he was so shy, they set him up with a young lady named Charlene. They met at a Little League ball game in Medill, and it was love at first sight. Jim and Charlene continued to date while he finished college and while she worked at Dairy Queen with his mother. They were married in 1966, and during their 54 years of marriage, they raised 2 children, Sandra Ray and John. Growing up in a teacher's home meant the kids learned to appreciate the value of education, and Sandra even followed in her father's footsteps and has also spent many years in a classroom. She has also provided Jim with some of his greatest treasures, 2 grandchildren, Blake and Julia, whom he now shares his adventurous spirit and inquisitive mind. Mr. Lloyd was a member of several professional organizations such as OEA and NEA, and in 1987 was awarded the Oklahoma Chemistry Teacher of the Year. He was also a member of the Radio Operator League and the Choctaw Code Talkers Association. He is a proud member of the Oklahoma Choctaw Nation.
Halito, we'd just like to send a special congratulations to you, Jim. Congratulations on being inducted into the Atoka Hall of Fame. It's very well deserved. I hope you have a wonderful evening. God bless you.
He may never win a Nobel Peace Prize or a National Medal of Science, but Jim Lloyd will always be remembered as the coolest scientist in Atoka and the Atoka Alumni Association's 2022 Hall of Fame recipient.